What's going on, everyone? Juice Bags here, and welcome back to some Factory Town. We're making a little bit of progress here. We've got a grain mill, we've got a pasture out here now. Now, the pasture is creating wool, and we actually don't have it going anywhere yet. How is that barn doing? That barn is all full up. I kind of feel like I need a little bit of storage, and it might even make sense just to keep it out here somewhere. Let's go ahead and put in another barn. Let's see, and where do we want that? I'm thinking we could really use a barn. Let's go just right here. I'll leave that one gap opening. I prefer to leave more than that, but one gap's a good starting point. And then let's see now. See, our output is full on the pasture, so right away we really need to start getting this wool and the fertilizer to its proper place. Now, the fertilizer, of course, we're going to want to run over to the farm. We've got water and we've got fertilizer, or do we want to start making some farm blocks? Let's take a peek. Farm tiles do need fertilizer. We need 2 of those, so we would have to have those in a barn to be able to put the farm tiles down. I do think that is kind of important at this stage, so why don't we do that? Let's see, do we have anybody inactive? We do. This guy here, let's have him grab the fertilizer and just take it to the barn for right now. We'll get the fertilizer going over to the farm here really soon, but I do think it's kind of important to get that fertilizer there. You know, in fact, how are we doing on our housing? I think let's upgrade some houses too and get a few more workers. Let's get all of these houses to level 2, actually. That's going to free up quite a bit of workers and let us do some expanding out. That does all of the housing there. And I do want to think about this second floor to move this general store and food market up, but I'm not at the point where I can upgrade the base yet. I'm going to need leather for it. Now, leather is not too far off. All we need is a pasture, and I can start producing some leather. However, we're not quite there yet, and first things first, I want to get our farm squared away out here. We actually have 2 farms going. Both of them are not even close to being optimized, so I do want to get those squared away. Now, we do have a little bit of fertilizer over here, not a whole ton, but I've got a bunch of workers, so I'm going to speed the process up here. And I'm going to throw down a wagon to help me clear some of this stuff. So let's take this wagon, have it grab fertilizer 2, and bring it to the barn. We're actually waiting on fertilizer. Oh, it's because I need to get rid of the wool as well. I tell you what, that worker... Let's see, what worker was it that was bringing... It was this worker. Let's take this worker and have it grab the wool and bring the wool to the barn. And then that should get the rest of this process going here. So first things first, let's start working on getting this particular area filled in with farm blocks. Now, of course, everywhere that's highlighted here, I can put some of those farm blocks down. And I do want to make sure that I'm optimizing it as best as I can. But let's just start off with a few of the basics with these farm tiles. Let's see. Basically, I want any tile that doesn't have wheat on it already. Out of range on that one. Oh, okay. There we go. So it can go to there. That's a start. Certainly not there yet. And then... obviously, this is just barely moving anything, but now we can get some grain planted. And we do have all that grain in the barn over there, so we're going to make use of some of that and get grain planted on all these tiles. That's going to give this farm a little bit more productivity as far as grain growing. And then, obviously, this one needs just massive expansion here. Got a long ways to go. However, we are producing some wool now. And we're producing that fertilizer as well. Now, to make another Let's see, I kind of feel like I need like a workshop row somewhere here. I put this grain mill here going out mainly because of this coal here, and I knew we would put a kitchen here eventually. I don't think I can do a kitchen quite yet, can I? Farm well, great barn. No, no kitchens quite yet. Let's look at what's locked. Yeah, that's still locked. I need a level 3 base, so I'm going to have to upgrade the base one more level before I can do anything with it. And that's going to require, of course, yet another pasture. I'm wondering if this can keep up. Let's see. Yeah, the inputs are actually staying full. I could almost increase the output. Or I could go with another wagon, maybe even. Maybe that would be even a better idea. Go with another wagon here too. Let's see. Who do we want to grab? Let's grab this guy and just park him over here for a moment. That was the person running the wool. And then let's throw another wagon just to speed this up just a little bit. Let's pop a wagon down here. And we'll have this wagon grab wool and take it to the barn. And then that should keep this pasture really pumping here. Let's take a look at it now. The inputs are still just staying full. I'm wondering if I maybe want to add another worker to this just to pump that stuff out a little bit quicker. I want to see. It is going to fill that barn. Yeah, it's filling that barn up pretty darn quick, actually. So just for the moment, why don't we, let's see, let's get some more of those farm tiles made. In fact, let's put them out here because I am worried this farm is going to run out of product that it can actually farm here fairly quick. So let's get some farm tiles out here. We've got quite a few spots where we can fill them in here. In fact, this should burn all of our fertilizer out. And once again, there's a little start anyway, and then let's plant grain on all of those. We've got plenty of grain left to plant. And just one more, right? There we go. Alright, so we got a little bit more grain growing. You see this one is actually going to be completely out of grain here in no time at all. How are we doing on the fertilizer and the wool? We're actually really filling up on wool, but of course we've been using the fertilizer. Now, I'm basically going to need another set of workshops. Now, I don't want to run this product all the way over here to this area, so I think another set of workshops would do good, and that also gives me an opportunity to take a look at that forester. So first things first, why don't we put a forester in? Well, where do we want our workshop to be? We could make a little workshop row somewhere. Maybe even like right along here. If we made a little workshop row, like right along this section, that might allow us to do some raw material crafting over here. So we could get a forester. We could have the forester go into a lumber mill, and then the lumber mill taking the planks over to various workshops. In fact, let's see, let's set up something to start producing conveyor belts. So let's take a look at it again. If we head over to this workshop and look at the recipes, to make conveyor belts, we need cloth, we need wood wheels, and we need stone bricks. Now, ideally, we're going to want all of that out here, where we don't have to run all of those materials all the way over. Now, if we see, we've got the stone bricks right here. They're still relatively close. It's kind of in the middle. We also have an area over here for stone bricks and tons of wood, but the problem we have over here is the terrain is going to need to be flattened out, no doubt there. Then we've also got like this area, but then that would require getting the wool all the way over there, which is another potential route down the road. However, I think before we get in a general store and a food market up above here on a second floor, we might want to create like a little modular area out here. So let's start off with a forester. We're going to put it, let's have the output coming out this way. And where do we want it? 47. I'm trying to look at the number. If you look at the bottom, it shows the linked resources. There is 53, but I can't place it. We've got a 44 here. We've got a 37. 37. There's a... Well, that was a... I couldn't place it there. I think, like, over here is probably going to be the best bet. There's a 47 right there. I just don't think it gets any better than that. So let's actually do that. We will plant our forester right there. Now, the forester, of course, is going to be putting the raw wood directly out and into a lumber mill. So let's get a lumber mill, and we'll place it... Do I want to leave any space, I wonder? I was going to say we could put a lumber mill right there. It'll have water supply if I ever decide to do something else with it. Let's just do it. That only leaves the one gap, so anything down here is going to walk around. Because right here, we're just going to take a chute, and we're going to put it right going down the exit and into the lumber mill. Now, we want this lumber mill making planks, because we're going to need planks, of course, to make the wheels that we're looking for. So taking a look at the recipes, wood wheels is going to be 2 planks. So we want another lumber mill down here producing planks. This one is going to be it. Let's go ahead and select it up. And planks are now being made. Now, the planks, of course, we're going to have someone running planks from here to a workshop that's producing wheels. Because we're going to need, what was it again? It's wheels for the conveyor belts. Wheels, paper, and stone bricks. So, alright, we need a workshop over here that's producing wheels. Let's go something... Let's just put this workshop right here even. Now, eventually I'm going to have a conveyor belt running the planks from the lumber mill to the workshop. However, I don't have a conveyor belt yet, so I'm going to have to do this little number. Did I get them? See, we want to take the planks and bring them to the workshop, saying no recipe is signed. Let's go ahead and assign that wheel recipe. And then now we'll take the planks and run them over to the workshop, maybe. Planks to workshop, there we go. Now, as long as I put the pathing down right in between, homie should just stay right there in between the buildings and just hand it back and forth. Now, eventually I'll have a conveyor belt there. However, don't have one there yet. Now, we're going to have the wood wheels coming out. And wood wheels are going to go into yet another workshop, and the next workshop is going to be creating the actual conveyor belt. Now, for this shop to create the conveyor belt, it's going to have to get fed from 2 different areas. Now, we're going to have the wood that's going to get fed directly in from the workshop, or pardon me, the wheels that are going to get fed directly in from the workshop. Then we're gonna have to figure out where to get some stone bricks. I think the best way is going to be to set that up. Ah, man, that's a tough call. I mean, I almost have to set it up right there. I just don't want to have the stuff running all the way from here over there. That's such a long way. If this was bricks, I'd set something up on this little island here. I think this is going to be the place, right here in this area. We can actually just load up on workers here, maybe. Actually, this one looks like the problem is the input. We've got lots of the stone going over this way. It actually puts out those bricks really, really quick. I still got a bunch of wheels. What does it say I have for stone bricks? It says I've got 54 there. I think having one more probably wouldn't hurt. Maybe that's not so far away. It's a tough call where to put it, though. Now why did this guy completely stop? Oh, he ran out of trees. That's a pretty good reason too. Well, we're going to have to find a new source of trees, or we're going to have to get rid of this lumber mill altogether. Now, what we could do, just for planks that are going in, is set up another kind of remote lumber mill area. I almost feel like it's time to just start working on getting our second floor in here. I've got quite a few workers that are sitting with nothing to do right now. And part of that is the trees have disappeared here. Now, I guess the easiest thing to do is going to be to bridge right over this and just let them walk across here. Why don't we just do that? I think that could potentially be the easiest way. So let's see. If we go scaffold brick, or scaffold block, let's go 2 of them. Let's see. Let's just go something like that. And then, let's see, we need to put one connecting those two. And there we go. Now those guys are working again because they have a path to go to. They actually had these trees targeted, but they didn't have a path over to them. So, I mean, whatever. That's not the prettiest thing, but it gets the job done for right now. In fact, I could ease these guys' pain a little bit. And I would have to make some moves here on the terrain. Not sure what I'll do there yet. I was thinking I could just go right over here. Give these guys a lot shorter path, but that's going to just create quite the mess over here. Now, what's up with this one here? This one is filling up so darn quick. Oh, it's the paper mill is why. Now, getting more paper in is not necessarily a bad thing. I could almost grab another wagon and set that up. I should have put the school closer to the paper mill. I should have put it like right next to the paper mill, in fact. I wonder if I can move it over there. That seems like, to me, it would make the most sense right now. Let's take a look. What does it take to build a school? We actually have... Let's do it. Let's move the school over here. Let's get this roadway all squared away here. Now, do I want to wait for this to get done with intermediate logistics? Or will it save it? See, I don't know if it will save the progress. I guess I can test it out. I can take intermediate select intermediate logistics. Maybe I'll learn to speak today. And then let's take... Do we want to use a worker or a wagon, I wonder? I think let's do a wagon. That's going to burn that down really, really quick. Let's do that. Let's do the wagon. Let's grab the paper, take it to this school. And oh man, look at it pumping in there now. Yeah, it can't even keep up. Which is fine. I'm not complaining about that at the moment. Now that allows me to get rid of this school. It doesn't have an inventory, so I'm not worried about any of that. So, ba-boom, let's just get rid of that bad boy. And that just makes a whole lot more sense. I mean, it's kind of... How crappy is it having to go to school in the industrial zone? But, you know, whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do. Now, what was this guy doing? These guys have nothing to do right now. I'm not sure why, to be honest. Maybe it's time to start thinking leather, too. Oh, very nice. We got grain growing out here out of all of these. We should have a nice bit. Oh yeah, we're actually full up. Holy crap. Now, do I want to put... Here's another question. Where do I want to put the workshop that is turning the wool into cloth? It seems like for it, a great place to put it would be just right over here next to it. But then I've got to move the cloth over to this workshop, but I guess that is not actually completely terrible, to be honest. Let's see. Let's grab that workshop and put it right here. I'm going to have to get rid of those herbs first, aren't I? Now, let's see. How do you do that? I hate to go tearing out herbs, but there's got to be a way to do it. Is it tools? Yeah, here we go. Remove resource, terrain block. Up, down, flatten. Okay, let's remove resource. We've got to remove, what, 3 herbs? That's not the end of the world. And then if we get a workshop right here, and then we want this workshop is going to be making cloth. See, we want wool cloth, so we'll take that one. And then now, decisions. These wagons seem like a bit of a waste of space now, because I don't really need the wool going anywhere else. Tell you what, for right now, let's just throw a worker down. It'll make life a little bit easier, and just have that worker doing some transitioning. Yeah, just one worker is actually going to be able to fill that way up. Now, eventually, I would want to automate this without using an actual worker. But for right now, that is going to do just fine, no doubt there. Now, what's this guy? This guy's bringing water to the farm. I'm not ready to start fertilizing the areas yet, as I just want to make more of those farming blocks, or farming tiles. Let's see. Seems like it's out of the area. Oh, it is. It's outside of the reach of it. Derp. Alright. Well, that lets me get rid of those. It shows me the range of it right there. Let's see. Let's just go like that. Can't put them here. Looks like we actually have it filled in as far as it's going to go because of the slopes right there. However, we can get some grain planted on those as well. It's not a ton, but it should add up for sure. Yeah, that should work out. Now, what about this farm? This farm has got lots and lots of tiles that can be put down. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's get this one all squared away here. I don't even know if I'm going to have enough to fill all that in. Nope, ran out. All right, but that's a pretty darn good start, as I'm sure we have enough grain to fill all of these in here. Very nice. Now, you know, eventually I'm going to want to put farm tiles under the natural grain that's just growing there. But this is a good start anyway. That definitely gets me going. And we're actually full of our output of cloth. So what do we want to do there? I almost feel like maybe we could take some of these guys that are parked and move them around. Our happiness is at 17. How are we doing on... I've got an absolute ton of planks. Maybe just start looking at the basics of what a potential second floor might look like. So we're going to have to use scaffold blocks, right? Let's go like right here. Maybe even out further, like right there, right there. Let's go here. And that one's a little bit too close for comfort, but that allows stuff. These are just too far out. I definitely don't need them, or I don't want them that far out as far as a base. So let's move them in just a little bit here. See, those are structural blocks. Let's just move them right into the corners here. Put that there, and then we can just stack these all the way up. Now it's going to be a ton of planks to put all that together. What is it, 5 to make it over top of a house? Does that sound right? It looks like it. Looking at it from this angle, it appears like 5 of them. 4 of them might actually. But I need to clear this. Actually, that stuff will be moving up, so I don't need to clear it. Let's see. Let's start filling it in and see if... Oops. Research complete. Alright, we got a grabber. We got some various more sorting items. It's definitely time to really focus on the automation, and that is all going to begin by finishing out this area over here and getting these factory, getting the belts made. The first real tier of automation. Let me just throw those together here just so I can get a general idea on what this will look like. See, it needs to be 6 tall total. So what, we need 1 more here. Or no, that's 6, right? Or no, that's only 5, yeah. Let's grab 1 more on top there. And hopefully I'm going to be able to reach across and clear all the houses. Just kind of put... Let's see, how do we want to do this? Let's just put straight across like this for the moment. It's going to be a little while until I have enough planks to completely fill that in, I think. It's a pretty large platform area. It's going to be quite the high rise here when it's all said and done for sure. Let's get the outside structure set up here. Oops. I'm so glad that it's so easy to remove a piece if you misclick. Like I misclicked there, and all I have to do is right click on top of that piece with the item selected. And like say I misclicked here, I can just right click on top of those while I've got that item selected and continue to go ham. That's so nice that I don't have to go into some remove tool. Alright, so there is the basic structure of the second floor. Maybe I should move this pile in 1 more just to keep it a little bit more symmetrical. Gotta do it. I can't have it unsymmetrical like that, or not symmetric. What would you call it? A lack of symmetry. Let's see, yeah, let's do that. I like that much better. Now, eventually I'll fill this in. I'll put down probably 2 more rows of houses, or maybe only just 1. Actually, it seems like 2 would be good. They're, what, 3 wide? 4, 5, 6, 7. That's actually not that much space. I think I'll just put down 1 row of houses in the middle, so there'll be 3 more here. And then I'll move the general store and the food market upstairs over top of it all. And now, of course, I'm not going to be able to do that until I get some ramps going up to it and other things, is I'm going to need these wagons and eventually some factory belts to run up there to turn this stuff into the general store and the market. However, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And I will be back soon with some more Factory Town. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.